it's kind of an open book here. But generally speaking, like a lot of guys like to come in like with their legs first, and they're not really too concerned about their upper body. And like the issue with this is eventually, like if I start hand fighting, if he gets a grip and starts to pull me in, my legs are now exposed for him to go shin on shin, or like start to go into deli hivas and like reverse deli hivas and such like that, right? So what we're gonna work on today is a different stance and a different, like just some ideas to help with our guard passing. And this style of guard passing is heavily influenced by like a lot of like wrestling stance and like just principles in wrestling. So instead of leading with my feet, okay, I'm gonna come in and actually lead with my hands, okay? So this way, like my first line of defense is my hands, and then from here, I can start to work my entries and start to get my grips, like grips that I want. The second thing is head position, right? So let's say I can get the hands. Let's say I don't even get the hands, right? But I'm gonna use my head position to kind of keep them away, okay? So notice how like my head is kind of driving in. It has like this forward pressure momentum going so that he can't control me. Is if we do get a grip, I wanna keep my elbow and my leg connection. So if I'm like just by myself, if my elbow is tight to like any part of my leg, doesn't matter if it's here, here, or here. Like, so if I keep this connected, try to pull me, right? Like it's hard, like I'm now connected to him. But if I don't have that connection, I'll try to pull me, boom. See the difference? If I don't, now like I have this base, he doesn't even have to go like, so look, it's not so much the grips, but rather like how strong of a connection and what he's gonna do with the connection. If I have a connection here, but I don't have this principle here, look, you could just pull me. You don't even have to arm drag. Like you could use this grip, like you could use this to re-drag me, yeah. Right? Now if we try doing that, I have my elbow knee connection, it's hard. And then going back to the principle of head position, now I can get my head position in and I can start to work, okay? So let's just try this out where we get into our stance like this, more of like a wrestling stance, as opposed to like a traditional jiu-jitsu stance where we're kind of here. So we're here, and then we're coming in with our hands, and like, we're kind of using our head position as well, okay? I'm trying to play around with this idea of if I do want to go in for grips, I kind of come in with my legs to, again, maintain this knee and elbow connection here, right? As opposed to just coming in here, and then now I kind of lose that principle, and now he has a small window of opportunity to start pulling me in. Now, of course, I still have my head position, but it's just something to keep in mind. Nice. Perfect. Jump back and forth.
You could grab my phone for a timer if you want. This is just going back and forth.
Ryan, where's your phone? Oh, I see it.
I don't know.
This kind of guard passing, it's actually really difficult to be in this stance the whole time, like circling, right? But we can always reset and kind of like catch our breath here, and then we re-engage. Principles in mind of my my passing stance, okay? We're here and I'm trying to win the hand fight. So once I win the hand fight, I'm gonna start to win the head position. Now from here, Sergey, just don't resist, just keep this. Okay, so from here, what I'm gonna do is I can use this to shuffle step and like, in theory, like walk all the way around, right? So obviously like Sergey's going to follow me from here. And if he ever shuffle steps, then I could do another misdirect and shuffle step to the other side, okay? Another thing I like to do is, okay, so we're here, I win the hand fight, damn, I'm shuffle stepping, and then here, I'm gonna start to backstep around and cut the angle. So I'm here, and then I backstep around to this way. Okay, so if I'm here, if my foot crosses from the front, this is what's called a shuffle step, okay? Now, when this foot backsteps this way, that's a backstep. So like, when I was looking at it, it felt a bit weird because all I was seeing was just 2 feet crossing. But the difference really is just this is going behind and we can get this huge backstep going here. Or we can use these small shuffle steps to start to move our angle. I don't get too much movement with the shuffle steps, but it's good to have, right? But where I find like looks really, really cool and covers a lot of distance is being able to backstep here and we come in. Let's just go slow to get the motion down. So person on bottom, like just hold the grip, like follow the person on top, and then let's just work our footwork sequences, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be this. It could just be like a shuffle, but then eventually boom, 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 boom. Yeah, just work that and hit. Right, now I can't move. Yeah, now you can go. Now if I follow you, bang. Yeah. Nice. Position comes in.
Trying to get to
So for here, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, like that's like the most ideal place to be with like the head position.
Be like this.
Yeah.
This doesn't do anything.
Yeah, but here, you're coming in, you're driving. Let's say like we even go like temple to temple, like here. Bam, I'm driving. You're gonna win that battle every time. But more likely than not, Sergey, if I use you, if I'm coming here and I'm already winning the battle, Sergey's gonna have to go supine. So go, just go like this, like this. Okay, so now he's gonna concede his secondary line of defense, which is going here. Generally speaking, if I'm playing guard, I don't want to just fall down here, especially if I don't have a connection. Connection meaning like connecting the legs or like hands, whatever. So if I'm here, I win the hand fight, Sergey's gonna go down, and now I get exactly what I want, okay? So the general principle is that it's 10 times easier to pass someone's guard when they're in this position, okay? And if we can't circle around to get to the back, we can use this supine position to our advantage to start passing, right? Like I can start to smash, I can start to use my knee on belly, start to circle around here. It's way easier to circle around here. So if we're ever lost in our goal, like let's say like he's really stubborn, it's just hard to like get him down, right? Like we want to be able to get him here. And then we start to work our passes. Okay, so that's just like one of the goals. And like sometimes like it takes hand fighting, head positioning, grip fighting, just to get him to go here. If I'm playing my seated guard, really I have 2 directions that my head position can go, okay? So if I'm leaning back this way, that's why people like to keep a post, because if I don't post and he can win the hand fight, just push me back, I'm gonna go supine, okay? And again, like he's winning the hand fight, right? So I'm at a disadvantage because now like he can, if he has the grips, he could start to work his passes and stuff like that. Boom, right? Now, of course, if I have the grips and I have my connections, this is a different story. Now I could start to attack, okay? So that's 2 things, okay? So generally like we want like, there's 2 things that can happen, especially person on bottom. Guys will have this like upright stance where they're like this, and they're probably trying to go in for hand fights. They're keeping that upright stance. They don't want to fall back, okay? The other method, the other stance that they could take too is coming here. So now it's difficult. So Sergey, if you come in. So now if I'm here, I can come in. It's difficult for him to push me back, right? Boom. I'm like following him. But now he's playing the wrong game, trying to put me down this way, right? Here, if I'm like committed to being here, I could be here all day long. And if his goal is to try to put me on my back, it's gonna be very difficult for him. If guys are ever down like this, it's very easy for him to start playing a collar tie head fight battle, if you go back, to keep my head down and start to circle around the exact way that he wants. So this is where this technique comes into play, okay? So now Sergey's coming in. He knows that I'm going to want to push him back, so now he's going to stay in tight and like start to play this game, okay? If he's tight this way, what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my hand down here and then start to circle around, okay? So that's kind of like the general principle that we're going to be going for today, okay? So if he's staying tight here, I'm just going to keep this collar tie, then now I'm going to start to circle, and then maybe I get back here, okay?
And the guy was saying something pretty important too. When you go to that collar tie, that grip, is just go with the double collar tie. Be careful of the double tricep, like heel pushing up, like, you know what I mean, underneath both arms. So that's like, he was saying like from here, right? Like dealing with these grips where guys like where they're able to push up like here. So I think that comes into just keeping that good stance too, right? And like the head position, like while you're there.
So we're keeping the good stance.